Need to make your shadow darker, just mix it with the black. It's really simple. So, here's the chocolatey brown one. I'm going to try that one.
You can watch here. You can watch here.
Okay.
Whatever's easier.
So here's the two colors. This is the chocolatey brown one that was in the contour wheel. You guys can see that contour wheel, and this one is a little more white in it, I think. And sometimes it tends to look purple on people, which is this one called the character shadow. So a lot of times we have to mix colors and to tint them to get them to be the right shade for each individual. Now, a lot of people in here are pretty pale. I always say go up a color. You know, you want to go a little darker. So for your base, that is. And this is pretty dark on me. I mean, this is really not my exact color, but once you get under the lights and everything, it's going to look good. And you're also going to have something to blend into, because you don't want to leave, you don't want to put on a foundation that's the exact same color as this highlight color, or you won't see it. You know what I'm saying? Either you won't see the highlights and shadows. So, all right. I'm taking my brush and I'm loading it up. If you don't know how to, paint or anything, you want to get both sides of it loaded up. This, let me show you. This is not the way to apply.
Oh my God.
I've seen people do it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. So you want to load up your brush, but then you also want to wipe it off a little bit. So now I've got it on there, but look, it's still a nice thin point to it, if you guys can see that.
Yep.
So I'm going to start with I always start from the top down when I work. And you want to do your wrinkles. So you guys are young, you don't have any wrinkles, but screw up your face and your face will wrinkle. And that'll give you a place to put it. So I'm just going to start drawing it in. You don't have to do every single wrinkle that's there. You can use your artistic license, I call it, to draw in what looks good. Okay. I'm going to do about 3. When you do old age, we want to do more. So, but this is middle age. You got to think about looking aged, but not, over the top so that you look like you're 80. So there's 3. That's good. I like 3. 3's, it's always the trinity that's in design. 3 is always a good number. So now the nose. You guys will be doing your nose today, and you're going to start here. Okay, not here. You start here.
I guarantee you 80% of the class will get that wrong.
Yes. No, they're with it, this class.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes. They're not going to get it wrong.
I meant 100% will not get this wrong. Not get this wrong.
100%. All right.
We'll get this right. Okay,
yes.
That's what it is.
Okay. This is always hard to get. I kind of have a bump on my nose there, so hard to get it kind of straight. All right, so you're going to bring this shadow up. And like I was talking about, you start to see more of your skull. So that means your eyes get more sunken in. So you'll have kind of a deeper shadow there to give that illusion. And your eyes sag down. Like I've got the saggy eyelid. I mean, some people just naturally have that. Kind of call it a hooded eye lid. So if you put this on an angle, it's going to kind of give that illusion that it's sagging down. Okay. So up in the corner. And then angle it down, and then you kind of bring it out so that that's that shadow of this sagging. And this is just, laying everything in right now. I'll go back and blend everything and maybe make this a little bit darker. When I do old age, I'm going to make it even darker and more intense of a color. Okay, so now let's go under the eyes, and I'm going to do just a little bit under here. I do have some mascara on. I know I didn't take it off, which you should do, so don't do what I did. Okay. And then I'm going to do the under eye bag, which unfortunately I do have, so I can just follow what I have. It's really easy. I'm going to go halfway, as Steve said. For old age, you want to do like all the way. So this is quarter of a circle, I guess you would call it. Lay in that shadow. I'm going to go, like I said, follow the natural shape of your face, whatever contours you have. Now you smile, you get crow's feet. So, you know, kind of smile, you'll find them. Do a couple. Again, I like 3. 3's good, but you can do more if you want. Everybody ages differently. So for research, I mean, it's always good to look at people in your family, you know, because, I mean, if you're related to them, you know, you probably end up aging that way, unless, of course, you know, have a different lifestyle than them. My grandmother, you know, had a different lifestyle than me. She didn't have all the, you know, like I was talking about sunscreens and whatnot. So, but, you know, heredity does play a part in our aging and whatnot. We can eat better. We can take better care of ourselves than our grandparents. Okay, so I did come around the nose a little bit. Now, this is the nasolabial fold I was talking about. So, get your brush, and I am cleaning off in between. Every time I apply it, I am wiping my brush off. Because every time you put the makeup on your face, you're picking up the foundation color. So that will make your shadows muddy. If you don't wipe off in between, you will get really muddy shadows. So now, this is the important thing. You come from the nose, the nasolabial starts there, and you can smile. That's your smile line if you don't know where your nasolabial fold is. So start here and head down to the lips and just let it fade off. You don't want to end in a really abrupt line. It should just fade off nicely, and it should connect. When you're doing your sketches for homework this week, it's really important to connect those. That's one thing that I'll say, hey, it goes up to your nose. All right, so sagging, your skin is kind of sagging down, so I'm going to make it a little bit lower and kind of on an angle. A lot of people have, you know, like I said, have different kind of wrinkles. Al Pacino, did you ever see his face? He's got like little triangles right there, you know? So you need to start observing and looking at people's faces. How do people age? People are going to age differently from different time periods as well because, you know, like I said, 100 years ago, they didn't have sunscreens and whatnot. Maybe it's a character that worked in the fields, so they have more skin damage. Okay, so I did that. I'm going to do this little thing here. What's this called? Anybody know? This little...
Cupid's bow?
Good. What's the technical
there's
name?
There's another thing
Anybody know?
above it that I forget the name.
It's below your nose, above the lips. All mammals have one. It's that trapezoidal shape there.
Yeah.
Your hand's filling in.
The whiskers.
It's called... It's called...
Philtrum, I think.
Right.
But anyway, you can shadow that if you don't want to. You don't have to, but again, it's like the sinking in of your, seeing your skull, more of your skull in there. All right, so I've done that. If you want to do a little, you know, accent there, again, all of your muscles and the collagen, like I said, is falling down. So you've got this muscles connected here, so you can bring the shadow color. We're going to do a jaw, like a sagging jawline, or jowls. And if you take this under your actual jawline and go up towards your ear, you'll see that sagging down. You guys are young, you don't have that, but we want to pretend it's there. Let's go up under there. Okay, next thing is neck. I have some wrinkles there. If you want to follow what you have or just put a couple in, it's up to you guys. Diane Keaton, I don't know if she's out of that middle age range, but she's got a good wrinkly neck. Doesn't she? Do you ever notice that? She always has turtlenecks on, covering up. You can do, if you want to do little worry lines, you know, some people get those. So that's the basics right there. Okay, so now let's go back and do highlight. Again, if you don't know what the highlight is, this says highlight, ultralight on there. Okay, let me clean my spatula off here. Some hand sanitizer, which I like these if, you know, you ever want to invest in that. I don't know, it's probably $10. That way you don't have to keep using those sticks. So just reiterating, sharing, you know, you take your stick and you take some out. That way you keep your makeup clean. And then you want to take a different brush, a clean brush, and that'll be your highlight brush. Get that loaded up. Same concept. Load it up. but wipe some of it off. Actually, I'm going to wipe it off on here. Okay. So let's go back in. Wherever you have a shadow, you should put your highlight. So I'm putting on top of that shadow wrinkle. It's a wrinkle, really. Because if you think about which direction your light is falling, we're going to say it's falling from the top, like the ceiling. And naturally, the light's going to hit that part of your face. You should do a highlight to the top of your brow bone, because that's going to really create that sagging down. You've got these, if you choose to do these little wrinkles here, I'm going to highlight around them. Down the middle of your nose, try not to do too much down the middle. It's a little crooked, but we'll go back and fix that. Okay, so as you guys did on your hands, the curved and hard edges. So right under here is a perfect example of that. You did the cylinder, right, on your page. This is what is going to be, oop, way too much highlight there. Okay, so I'm going to put a highlight here. Put it here, a little bit more. And I'm leaving a little bit of space right between the shadow color and the highlight. Then that's going to make the rounded surface. I'm going to go back with my highlight. I'm going to put it right next to, like you did on your hand, right? Put it right next to the shadow. That's going to create that hard surface. Kind of hard to see on this with this lighting. Is very shiny. So I put that right next to it. That's going to give it that nice hard edge. Okay, so I'm going to highlight above my crow's feet. Try to move this along for you guys. Okay, and then nasolabial fold, same thing. This is the rounded curved surface, so I'm going to put my highlight there. I'm going to leave a space in between the shadow and the highlight. Then I'm going to highlight right next to this and blend away. Same thing you did. That's like the box exercise we did, right? Okay. Then highlight up top of that sagging cheek. I don't know if I got that one to sag as much. Wiping off in between. Philtrum. Highlight that a little bit. And far back, okay. Highlight this, that's that rounded edge. Same on the jawline. Okay, almost there. And then, of course, the wrinkles. Who's the lady that does all the wrinkly work?
Oh,
in England? Rebecca would know.
she was
The
in
English
James Bond
actress,
movies
James
as
Bond.
Emma, Lady
Dench.
Judi Dench.
Judi Dench.
She does all the wrinkly
She says,
work.
I do all the wrinkly work that the Americans won't do.
There you go.
I
There's
like
a
that.
market for that.
I like that about her. She's not worried about, looking wrinkly. Okay, so I've laid in everything. Now I'm going to go back and blend. So take your brush and really get all the makeup out of it that you can. Clean it up so that there's really nothing left in there. You can just wipe it off. And that way, it's more like a dry brush now. So I can just use it for blending. So really just get it all cleaned up. And really, you should take a long time doing these wrinkles. I mean, technically, you should be blending them upwards, just like the rounded edges, but we don't really have time for that. You guys can take your time next week doing it. But for the sake of this demo, I will move it along and try and blend it quickly. In your book, if you've gotten your book yet, there's a whole chapter on modeling with highlights and shadows. I highly recommend reading that. And there's a really good diagram of just blending these highlights and shadows just on the forehead. I mean, you could spend 20 minutes just doing that. But as in, most time in theater, I don't have time to do that. So, like those kids that we all got into makeup every night on Fiddler on the Roof, we had 30 of them.
You did every single one?
Yeah. But I had a
Every
crew.
single
So I
one.
had 5 makeup artists, and we had 2 hours, to get them into makeup, right? Plus beards. Yeah, so it took a long time. And so we had to get it down to 20 minutes a person, you know what I mean? And so you hit the important things, right? You hit what is going to look the best on stage.
My high school, we did our own makeup.
You did? Good for you. Where'd you go to high school?
Eleanor Roosevelt in PG County.
Oh, okay. Very good. Yeah, well, you should learn how to do it yourself, but they were, lucky that they had somebody coming in doing their makeup for them, which in theater you don't have. But, having to do beards and everything was kind of hard for the kids to do everything. So look, I'm blending this upwards, right, toward my eye, and then I'm taking the highlight brush a bit and blending it down. It's just that cylinder exercise. And then you're going to take this and blend it away from the shadow. You see how that really gives that accent, making it look like that hard edge? So that's what we're talking about, hard and soft edges. Again, I'm going to blend these kind of quickly since they're just the line wrinkles. And as I talked about last week, really consider, what theater you're in and how far away you're going to be from the audience. You might have to really do this heavy and much more intense. I had a student that did a show, and she was this, old age character, and she had to sit on stage. Did I tell you this? And she did her makeup, look great, and it was really very intense. And then she went on stage with the lighting. She was way upstage. And afterwards, the director goes, "Do you have any makeup on?" And she goes, "Yeah." And she walked right up to him. He's like, "Oh my God, that is a lot of makeup." He goes, "Well, do more because I can't see it. It's not reading." So, it depends. You just have to see what it looks like under the lights. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Okay, I'm going to blend this one down now. If you find you're blending and you overblend, just go back and add a little bit more. That's all. It's easier to add more than to go back and have to erase everything, So, just want to get this to come out a little bit more saggy, like that. Okay, no shadow. Blend that down. You don't want to really go past the edge of your nose. And this is where you can take your sponge and really kind of soften that edge up. Not scrubbing it, but just kind of tapping. Just to smooth it out. So, soften it up. Maybe I went a little heavy on the inside here. Don't look too dark. Okay, good. Now nasolabial folds. Again, take that shadow and blend it up toward your eye. I'm doing little tiny strokes, like just touching it. And look, my brush, like I said, is cleaned out, but I'm getting in here just a little bit and pulling it up. Little tiny strokes, right? See how that just softly blended that? And if you want to, like I said, you can go back and add a nice dark line just to make that pop out. Okay, highlight brush, blend it down into there and out. Kind of blending it out that way, but also down into the shadow. Blending it out and then down. This is going to be blended away towards your lips. That's that hard edge. Just basically repeating hard and soft edges all over the face. That's basically what we're doing here.
And for the most part, the
Yeah.
hard edges are always on the bottom. No?
Yes, exactly. That makes sense. I would say so. And try and make it a shadow as opposed to just a line here. So you might want to add a little bit more, which I just went back to add a little bit more shadow up by the corner of the nose. You know, as opposed to, it's not just the line around your mouth, you know? So, it takes some time to get this. I don't know if anybody's ever done, you know, aging. But it's fun. I like aging. Okay, so just smoothing this out, blending it down. Same thing on this side. So yeah, if you want to do, you know, like I was talking about, kind of a cougar look, glamorous, middle age, I would do all your middle age, you know, work and then powder and then go back and add in, you know, like your mascara, I mean your eyeshadow, mascara, all that last. Do it on top of your aging. Okay. So I'm going to go back and forth like that and then try and blend it into... I find that this is a hard part, is the cheek shadow. Getting this blended just right. Because you kind of have to meet up in the middle, like that soft edge that we talked about. We're doing time-wise. All right. Almost there. Again, I'm just going to take my sponge, blend that out. Okay. We're getting there, kids. Do I look old yet? Okay. So just this part is left. Again, think about what is your character. If you want to design for a specific character, that's great. Who would be a good middle-aged person you can think of from a play? Anybody?
Lady Bracknell.
Okay, good. And any, you know, if you have an inspiration from a play, a movie, that's great. Otherwise, like I said, you can use real people in your life and say, can I take your picture? But don't say, hey, I want to take it because you're old.
Can I repeat your wrinkles?
I just want to look at your wrinkles because they're really great, you know.
What did you say was the age range for middle-aged makeup?
50 to 55.
Okay.
So find people like that.
Can we do like our mom?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Sure.
Aunts, uncles, mom, dads.
Yeah.
Because you're going to wind
Exactly.
up probably looking that way genetically.
Right.
Unless you want to go the whole Amy Winehouse way.
You can start early. Yeah.
Get started now.
Yes, good.
For our pictures for this lesson,
Yes.
are they all of the same person or are they all of people within that age range that we could pull inspiration from?
Yes. It could be different people. Absolutely. Yes. Because, you know, one person might have a really good, you know, nasolabial fold. Another person has really the good eyes that you want to use. Somebody else might have good, you know, jawline. So, yeah, it could be multiple people.
Yeah, pick people that are your, you know, type. In other words, the white female. Don't get like a middle-aged Chinese female or guy, you know. That would
Yeah.
be not your type.
Gotcha.
Because you want to do that on yourself eventually.
Right.
That's
I
your
mean,
research.
we will be changing, you know, nationalities. We'll do that in another lesson. But I am putting a highlight here because technically that's kind of that hard edge. So, and you should get this nice and rounded up. But you got to determine how middle-aged you're going to be. You might not have all this on you. You know, you might have a little subtler look, which is fine. Because there's, you know, degrees of being middle-aged. See how that gives you that kind of, it's not really there. Might be hard for some of you because, you know, you've got really nice, tight skin here. It's hard to give that illusion. Okay. So, just going to blend this out a little bit. But, you know, doing aging is something you're going to find all the time. You know, in theater, as a makeup artist, as an actor, especially on stage, you're going to be, you know, asked to transform yourself into what, you know, an older character. Obviously, on film, we do it with prosthetics most of the time. But sometimes, you know, you can do a really subtle HD makeup with same thing, with paint, with highlights and shadows. So you need to learn this no matter what you're going to go into.
You said paint.
Paint meaning, you know, makeup. We
Yeah,
have,
this grease paint.
yeah. You will use it, like the alcohol palettes that we use are really great. You can go in and just subtly age somebody and do the like age spots, and it's a technique that's used a lot. So another thing called Old Age Stipple, which is like a latex product. Okay, that looks pretty good. What other ways are there to age people? You know, pretty quickly besides makeup.
Your teeth.
Teeth, good. What else? Hands, good. Hair, exactly.
Yeah, a little
You can
gray on the
do
temples.
some gray, you
That'll
know.
age a character real fast.
Exactly. So if you guys want to put a little bit of gray in your,
Hairspray, or you actually had
temples.
Snow White in your kit. What's
Yeah.
that little jar? I should talk about that. It's got a little jar in it, and when
Yeah.
you shake it, it's got a BB in there. So shake it up real good if you're going to get it out.
and don't mistake it for liquid latex, which is also in your kit. So
Don't put liquid latex in your hair. Okay?
no, you'll have
Say that
instant,
again.
you know,
An instant waxing.
exactly. Okay, so I think I'm looking pretty middle-aged. Lip color, I'm just going to do a really simple lip color. But if you want to do something, you know, on the glamour side, you certainly can. I see something right there I want to blend out. So back to this contour wheel, there's like a lip color. And I guess you could use it as a rouge or a lip color. So I'm just going to take this out. This is called, I think this is Dusty Rose. Or maybe that's a natural lip color. Where are we? Natural lip color? I don't know. Okay, so just going to do a little bit of that. And I'm going to powder. So, and if you want to do, like I said, if you want to do an eyeliner, you can do that too. But you always should do lips. The guys, yes, you should do a lip color, just but natural. It shouldn't be red. That would look weird. And you don't have to do eyeliner. Again, it can look strange. Sometimes you need it a little bit. I don't usually do mascara on guys, but you know, if you really need it because of your character and you have just blonde eyelashes, maybe you need it. Okay, so time to powder. It's gonna be fun. All right, so I'm gonna clean up my hands. I have all this all on my hands. So take your, this is what the baby wipes are really great for, because you can't wash this off of your hands.
Don't try
It will become,
in the sink.
But
to
usually
wipe that off.
I scrape it all off first. Just scrape it off and put it on your paper towel. That gets most of the makeup off, you know, so then just clean your hands up. I'm telling you, so many people have actually go in and wash the makeup off their hands, and it's all in the sink. It's disgusting.
And you have to clean it up because I'm not doing it.
Me?
Not you.
Oh,
them.
okay.
Uh-huh.
All right, covering my lids. Last looks. So I'm just looking before I powder. Everything looked good. Looks pretty good. I can just make any little, just maybe a little bit strong, but I can take it down a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna powder. Where's your powder top?
What's on this edge?
I'm also gonna just take
I know that. It's
And
over
go like this.
in front of my chair.
a little bit just to get some of it off. Okay, so I don't know if you want to follow me over here with that.
Right.
I'm gonna powder. Everything closed up over here for your makeup. All right, so when you guys go to powder, there's this bin of mirrors. So when you go into the shower, grab a mirror, and you know, take your powder sock and your all of that stuff. Okay, here we go. Take a deep breath. You get any on me? Okay, good. I'm okay. All right, so make sure you look and see, like, I can see still makeup there, right? So
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go back. Oof. Yeah, this is the tough part. That's a lot of powder. Okay, so here I'm just gonna take it now that I got everything on there. Press it in. Make sure I got it all covered. Are you handling baby powder yet? Okay, good. I am. I've eaten a lot of it over my lifetime.
It's baby powder. How bad can it be? You put it on babies.
Put it on a baby.
Right.
Yeah, we're not supposed to inhale it. Okay, so touch, your face. Make sure it's completely dry. That's the important thing. And I know I'm powdering in here, which is a no-no, for you guys. But you guys go all the way in the shower and make sure you also powder the shower, but also get all the excess off in the shower. Don't come out of the shower and stand in front of the mirrors in the bathroom, because then all the powder ends up on the floor. People go in there and they slip. So, did I tell you about this bristly brush? This shaving brush is really great to get. It's kind of stiff, but that's the good thing about it. It really gets the powder off, as opposed to a really soft bristle. But look, there I come up. Hey, I forgot to bring the thing to wet down with. I showed you to wet down last week, right? So you know how to do it. Okay. Same thing you would do. Wet down with this. Get all the powder out. Now, when you get to really old age, you might not want to take all the powder off because, sorry, walk away from that. You might want to leave a little bit of that powder because it makes you look even older. You know what I mean? It gives you that kind of aged look. So there you go. That is middle age. Any questions? Okay, cool. Let's see how I look. Do I look middle aged? Hey. My teeth look really weird. Okay, so that's it. And like I said, I would wet down after that. And if you want to put on your blush or whatever afterwards, eye makeup, cool. Or you just want to do this, that's great. I guarantee everybody will go, oh God, I look so old. When you do this. It's kind of scary, So, all right, good. Wonderful. Now, you guys, we're going to take pictures really quick. So you'll have exactly like